idea is going to blossom into something truly powerful when he moves to the city. In 1836, John Snow arrives in Soho in the heart of London. It's a place where beer is produced and consumed on a very large scale. It's also a place that is ripe for big ideas, a place that will help Snow make his breakthrough. In the mines of Killingworth, Snow had noticed that not everyone who breathed the air had come down with cholera. Now in London, he attends public lectures and learns more about the way that gases are distributed in the atmosphere. And he starts working on a radical new theory. Cholera is not in the air, it's in the water. Snow's radical idea flies in the face of the medical establishment's view that cholera spreads through the air. But to convince them he's right, Snow needs irrefutable evidence. In 1854, when a deadly cholera outbreak begins in the heart of Soho, Snow realizes it's an opportunity to gain the evidence that he needs. But to prove his theory, he's going to have to take a truly monumental gamble with his own life. While the rest of the neighborhood is fleeing in terror, Snow bravely goes from door to door in Soho, recording the deaths at each address. And with this detective work, he assembles all the data, and he makes a map. Now, it may not look like much, but this is actually one of the most influential maps ever produced. Overlaid on the map is the data John Snow has collected in Soho. Each of the black marks represents a death from cholera. As Snow builds up a picture of what's going on, the map reveals that the deaths are concentrated around a water pump on Broad Street. But there's one group of locals who escaped the outbreak: the beer-drinking workers at the local brewery. Unbeknownst to them, their favorite beverage has kept them safe from the dirty water of Soho. It's all the evidence John Snow needs. By risking his life, Snow has proved that cholera is spreading through the water. It's an insight that will begin a new chapter in our understanding of clean. Thanks to Snow and his map, the authorities finally come around to one of the most important principles of public health. Access to clean drinking water is crucial for preventing disease. It's the principle that every relief worker in the world now follows after a major disaster. But Snow's map will have consequences that extend far beyond just public health. Snow's work helps inaugurate the new science of epidemiology, using maps and surveys instead of lab-based experiments to uncover the patterns and causes of disease. In the 1950s, these techniques will be used by British doctor Richard Dahl to reveal that lung cancer is linked to cigarette smoking rather than car fumes. In the 1980s, police forces will combine data and maps together to reveal the previously hidden patterns and causes of crime in cities. It's a technique that will revolutionize law and order. Today, the combination of local data and maps has become a vital tool for city dwellers all over the world. These developments have their roots in a map made by John Snow more than 150 years ago. John Snow makes clean water the goal for civil engineers in the rest of the century. The irony is, Snow made his breakthrough without actually knowing what it is in dirty water that kills us. This little creature is what John Snow was actually up against. It's a tiny organism that spreads through water and causes cholera. If you are unlucky enough to ingest cholera-infected water, there will soon be upwards of 1 trillion of these creatures living in your gut. And that spells death. Learning how to control bacteria in water would be one of our greatest challenges in the 20th century. Even today, for almost 1 billion of us, drinking a glass of water is like playing Russian roulette. But one miraculous chemical would allow us to kill these deadly creatures, and in doing so, it would make much of modern life possible.
150 years ago, in Europe and America, the public water was so dirty you wouldn't have wanted to go near it. Today, the story is a little different.
Now we actively seek out public water, sharing it with over 80 million other Americans each year and their trillions upon trillions of bacteria. All these people are jostling around in a wonderful bacterial breeding ground of 72-degree water. A temperature that's right for super-fast multiplication.
There's a reason why we didn't have water parks like this in the middle of the 19th century. There was no way to keep the water clean. And imagine what John Snow would have said about this place. He would have been baffled by it. Then again, I don't think he was much of a water park person.
But perhaps what would have shocked John Snow the most is that this park operates a recycle system. Over 2.5 million gallons of water are used over and over in the rides. It means keeping it clean is vitally important.
So now we're behind the scenes. We've got this water playland up there. This is what we need to do to keep that safe and clean.
You have to filter it and disinfect it and do all the good things that these little magic guys do to clean 2.5 million gallons of water a blast from hot. That's a lot of water.
And what happens at the first stage of filtering?
We have some pre-filters before things go.
This is what gets trapped in the filter.
And they're pre-filtered to go before they go into our home. So this is just a small, a yummy example just for you.
That is like the world's largest hairball.
It is like the world's largest hairball. Here we are mammals.
Oh, that's where we just kind of naturally shed.
Do you want to touch it?
No, I really don't.
Are you sure?
Oh, come on, seriously, don't
It's
tell me with
just
that.
a
Oh,
hairball.
God, no, it's in my contract. I'm not allowed to interact with hairballs.
It's not that scary. Some leaf, a little bracelet. Oh look, out of someone's shoe.
So can I ask, like, what is the weirdest thing you've ever found in the filters?
Well, I think one of the weirdest things is a toupee.
Really?
Yeah, so what happened to the poor guy?
Yeah. He like goes onto the ride and he's like all Burt Reynolds and he shows down at the end. He's like, oh, wait, I was like, sorry.
But the objects we can see make up just a tiny fraction of what has to be cleaned out of the water. What really keeps this place clean is chlorine, a chemical that is lethal to microscopic bacteria.
So what is this giant vat?
Well, this is liquid chlorine that we inject into the water, which is our disinfection.
So this is basically what keeps the whole park safe. This is you can't have the magic up there without this giant vat of chlorine.
That is the secret and the magic to water. Clean water is paramount to what we do. And we've got this amazing team of men and women that take care of our water. They're invisible and probably not as loved and noticed as they should be, but all day long they make sure that our water and the magic of the water park starts with good, disinfected, filtered, clean water.
We all know chlorine is vital in water parks, but there's a problem. Use too much chlorine and it can be lethal to humans. It means it was one of those innovations that was very hard to sell. And back when chlorine was first used to treat water, it wasn't just for entertainment. It was a matter of life and death. Across America and Europe at the beginning of the 20th century, dirty water was everywhere. And one technology in particular was causing the problem. The humble flushing toilet. The toilet was adopted by a lot of people in a very short space of time. When this happens, problems are never very far away. Just look at the modern world of high technology. Think of the iPhone. This was a huge hit product, but right after its launch, it overloaded the wireless network. People just had no idea how much iPhone users were going to try and get online. People even had a hard time just making telephone calls. New technologies can often overwhelm old infrastructure in really surprising ways. Please, I don't know how I got into this thing, but I feel a little bit uncomfortable. Hey, guys, can you guys get me out of here?